Hey y'all, we are orange flowers. And I don't know why. And it's just one of those days where I think we need to be a little uplifted. It's kind of dreary outside.
Yeah.
We've had a crazy week, crazy holiday season. Apologies for maybe a slow down on some videos and stuff, but we're back to normal.
Yeah.
And we need this oil that we're talking about today, and that is Neroli.
So we were doing this because Emily Wright talks about the personality of flowers, and it's this beautiful little open flower kind of releasing and embracing. And so Neroli oil, this is going to be a pretty straightforward video because right now doTERRA has it only available in the touch form. So it's for topical use. The Neroli oil itself can be used all three of the ways, but this one you wouldn't want to pull it out and put in your diffuser, and you know, anyway, it's already pre-diluted. So we're going to talk about topical applications of the Neroli flower.
And it's a good thing that it's in the touch form from doTERRA because Neroli oil, like a lot of these flowers, is very low yield oil.
Yes.
So it would be a very expensive bottle to get a little 5 milliliter. And so this touch stretches it. And also from my research, Neroli, this citrus, what is it, Aurantium, that it comes from, the plant it comes from, this oil actually maintains its potency quite well, even with heavy dilution. And it's a very fragrant oil as well.
Yes,
so,
I mean, I can...
Yeah, I mean, I'm smelling it just from a little bit she rubbed on. So don't be afraid that it is in the touch and it is diluted. This is still a very potent oil. And you can still smell the aroma. I mean...
And like a lot of flowers, it is a really powerful oil for many reasons. So we're going to get into that. Neroli, doTERRA's Neroli is harvested from Egypt, but it's actually from the same tree that produces the bitter orange. Now doTERRA's wild orange is a sweet orange, but also petit grain as well is the leaves and twigs of that tree.
Yep.
And so...
And that actually comes from Paraguay. So when we get to petit grain and talk about that, they cultivate the trees for the wood matter for petit grain in a different country than the flowers.
So when you smell this floral oil, like it definitely is sweet. I would say not as like sticky sweet as like an Ylang Ylang or geranium, but it's sweet. But then it has a little bit of that citrus note to it. So it's a little bit of a brighter floral scent. Yes.
So that's a good segue into the chemistry and why that is, because we just talked about there's 3 essential oil products that come from the tree, and so there is some commonality in chemistry, but plants will have different chemicals within different parts of its structures to do different things. And so within the flower, we have linalool. Actually, up to about half of this oil is linalool. So, you know, linalool oil, everybody thinks lavender. Well, Neroli is an really excellent source of linalool. We also have linalool acetate in there, so we know this is going to be a calming, relaxing, soothing oil from those constituents. Now, the bark, the twigs, the stems, the leaves, they also have linalool acetate, but then you get more alpha terpenol in there. Now, that's in the Neroli as well, but it's very minor, and it's much higher concentration in the petit grain. And then when you go to the fruit, and you get the orange peel oil, now you're looking at like limonene, you know, which you all kind of know in citrus peel. It's very high in limonene. That's also in Neroli, but very, very subdued. So you can see you're going to have different applications even though they're all from the same plant because of the different chemistry. And being a flower, Neroli is very complex, you know, lots of constituents. So we have other alcohols besides the linalool. There's nerol in there as well. And then you have monoterpenes, you have esters, you have aldehydes, the great scent that comes along with this. And there you go.
So that's really complex.
That's the chemistry. You know, it's common with some of these other things. You know, petit grain, or citrus oils, Neroli. You can kind of use them the same, but really we're looking for the high linalool content and the relaxing, soothing qualities that this oil brings.
So huge for emotional support. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and jump to the emotions book here and talk about Neroli because there's a lot that goes into it. Neroli is the oil of shared purpose and partnership. So this oil, again, because it's so beautiful for emotional health and support, specifically helps the unity of a marriage relationship, long-term relationships between 2 individuals. So these are, you know, committed relationships. And as part of that, Neroli specifically specifically helps the sexual intimacy in a marriage relationship, which is a huge part of the whole balance of that, to be one, physically, mentally, spiritually. Sexual intimacy is a large part, and so it helps heal damage, it helps bring couples together, it helps open one another up to continuing in depth, because the truth is that one sinner plus one sinner does not equal happily ever after, and life is hard, and circumstances are going to continue to come against you, and we want to support you in continuing to battle through those difficulties. And as part of it, encouraging that sexual intimacy, Neroli is also really good for helping support virility in men.
Yeah, so it's not just a sweet-smelling perfume oil.
Yeah.
There are applications for men here too, this oil is really good with your hormonal chemistry.
Yes.
So predominantly in women, it's going to help with declining estrogen levels, usually associated with menopause later in life.
So I think those transitions.
So it's going to help support your body through those hormonal changes.
Yes.
And then for men, like Jesse was saying, it actually plays part in the testosterone role in the fertility of men as well. So this is a great oil for both sexes to use. Now,
support fertility. It's also like in the later stages of pregnancy. It's really beautiful to help support that. You can put it on your feet, like kind of around your ankles. Ask your hubby for a foot massage, because all pregnant women need more feet massage.
And the reason for that is Neroli is an excellent oil to help your body have a healthy inflammation response.
Yes.
So whether that's the increased weight your joints are bearing because you're with child, and the pains that can come with that, or even like digestive health and healthy inflammation responses there, or just the things that happen on the skin. This is a beautiful oil to use all those ways. But I want to jump back to the emotional side, because the only blend we could find Neroli is in is the new Adaptive.
Yeah.
And really it's because of the linalool, the high linalool content. Adaptive is primarily wild orange and lavender, and Neroli's in there too, and it's because of the influence of this on the GABA receptors in the brain. And there's a lot of science on how that works, but basically it's that ability to release emotions and positively change and adapt in your brain chemistry. So excellent oil for that.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll start talking more about the Adaptive. It was basically released as doTERRA, acknowledging that there is a huge mental health crisis right now in the United States, and we need healthy ways to work through that and to deal with that. And so Adaptive, this is the touch. There's an oil which is in both our bedroom and the kids that we diffuse nightly, and then there's an internal supplement. But Neroli is a large part of that. You mentioned skin. So like many of the flowers and many of the other things that are good for emotional benefit, it's also really great for skin. Same thing, calming inflammation, for any icky spots, also for like wound care and skin beautifying. It's really lovely at that. So this is actually one that you could, ladies in particular, but you could keep this in your bathroom and kind of rotate it in. Maybe you want to try Neroli for a while, maybe you want to try jasmine, maybe you don't have one, but keep this in your bathroom and use it on any spots here or on the skin or anything that you're trying to clear up. And then you're also getting the benefit of it as, then you go to bed.
But it's also a wonderful perfume oil. So it's very coveted for its scent. So kind of in a similar vein, don't be afraid to slather this up and have that scent, be a part, or whether you mix that into a deodorant, DIY deodorant, a perfume spray, anything like that.
It is one
Neroli
that's a little bit,
one.
I'm still smelling it, and I just put a little bit on my wrist, so maybe I won't quite slather, but definitely use it as a perfume, because we talked that the perfumes on the market are full of synthetic fragrances. They were based off of original things, because Neroli actually is a very popular historical flower oil for perfumes and scents, used by both lovely virgins on their wedding day to celebrate their virginity and encourage fertility in the marriage bed, but also used by the women of the night in Madrid to encourage clients to visit. And it was used a lot by the Arabs as well. Again, the men, for fertility and virility and intimacy and all that. But so this is a great historical oil. Back to the perfume thing, that many perfumes are synthetic versions of these. They're based off of that because it's too expensive. So swap out those perfumes and start experimenting with Neroli or Magnolia or Jasmine or the Whisper blend, or heck, even use Adaptive. Like many of the other oils smell lovely. So swap that out.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what else?
And then, so Neroli also has some great properties for the cells and supporting your cells. So mainly probably the skin, because it is so soothing to the skin. But it's very protecting. It's a cellular protective oil. And it's also going to help with the apoptosis, or the healthy dying of old cells.
And unhealthy cells and mutated cells and damaged cells.
Yeah, so very similar to frankincense and some of the properties in there.
Yeah.
There's been studies, on Neroli, very similar. So a wonderful, wonderful oil.
For blending, obviously, we're not really going to be doing diffuser blends with this one, but you could certainly like pop the top off of this, and one good way I reuse bottles is like I'll pull half of this off and put it in another one. So you could add frankincense to this, would be amazing, or sandalwood. You could obviously make yourself a powerhouse citrus trio and add petitgrain and wild orange to this and get like all those amazing benefits of the kind of the complete plant. You can also blend this with the other flower oils. It does really well.
Yeah, lavender, Ylang Ylang, and even marjoram, all blended together is going to be a great massage oil. Whether that's, like I said, massaging the feet of your pregnant wife, or just a normal massage oil. Neroli blends really well into those.
We talked about the inflammation, any kind of, just stomach upset, again, with pregnancy, with women's hormonal stuff, with the cramping issues. It helps with that. I don't know. It's a great one for pregnancy. Like, women use it for the variety of things that you deal with during pregnancy. Okay, I think we got...
That's pretty much it.
That was pretty... it's a very complex oil, so just pull it out and use it. And that's what I love about it, is even if you don't know all the good things it's for, by using it, you're getting those benefits.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So hopefully we gave you lots of suggestions. If there's any that you know of that we didn't talk about here today, go ahead and get those in the comments. We love reading y'all's comments. We love continuing to grow this community. Hope that this video served you well. And we're going to oregano next?
Oregano. So we're going from one of the beautiful flower oils to oregano, which is hardy, but you will want this oil.
That's right.
Yes.
Next time.
Next time.
Bye, y'all.
We Seek Summits.